Hello friends. I am going to try to do a little bit of vlogging today. I've been off all day. It is Monday and we got like a free day off today at my company, which was really nice. It's called like a day for me, which is awesome. I spent the first half of the morning, first of all, from midnight to 3, I read the last Madison Kate book, which was the reverse harem that I mentioned that I was reading. Pause, I gotta drive, hang on. Okay, so we're back. We're at another light. So I stayed up from like 12 to 3 reading the last Madison Kate book, and it was awesome. Really enjoyed that series. It was like a 4-part book on Kindle Unlimited, and it kind of pops into a further world, like it expands the world basically. So there's another series after this, so I'll probably read that. And then I had to get up at 6:45 to take my car to get a new timing belt, which was a fun way to spend your day off, I guess. So that took like half a day. And then after that, I have come back home and I just ran out to Barnes & Noble because, hold on again. Okay, I'm actually home now. So let me like try to put you somewhere. You're in my pantry. Oh, that's a weird hair. Okay, hello guys. So I'm back home. You're in my pantry because I don't have my tripod out here. But okay, so a couple things. I went to Barnes & Noble, and because we had like a free day off today, they also gave us $25 to use however we pleased, which was super, super nice. And so I decided to grab 2 books at Barnes & Noble. So I got All the Tides of Fate, which is the second book in, what was it? All the Stars and Teeth. So I wanted to read the sequel because I really enjoyed the first one. And then finally freaking found part 1 of The North and South, which I have not been able to find this comic for months. Even online, you can't buy it. Like, it was sold out everywhere. I couldn't figure out why they weren't printing enough. So I finally found it at Barnes & Noble. So that was that. And then now I get to figure out how to install weather stripping under one of my doors that just has like a wide open crack that anything can come in. So wish me luck. Let's figure this out. Do you see this crack to the outside? Yeah, we gotta get rid of that, hopefully. We'll see how this goes. Okay, that was extremely hard, but I did it. There's a small little crack over here left, but I think it's just okay. I think it's okay. We're just gonna make it work. Eventually, it might be a good idea to just replace this whole door and get a better looking door that's like actually going to be sealed. Because like even on the side here, there's a crack. But I think to install the other kind of weather strip, you have to like take your whole door off. But I'm just really not about that life because this leads straight outside. And if I couldn't do it myself, I have no way to shut this. So for now, we're just gonna leave it be and see what we need to do in the future. So I feel like I haven't shown you guys anything, so we should do like an updated tour of the house. So let's do that right now. Okay, so this is the dining room. Finally got my table put together, which is really nice to have. The cats are so happy to have that back. I didn't put the leaves so technically it can be even bigger, but I feel like this is big enough. Odin? But I can't decide what I want to do with these walls. So it has 2 really big, large, hey buddy, blank walls here. So I could do my old like Disney gallery wall, but I don't know. I haven't decided if I want to put those in my room or if I want to put them in here. If you have an opinion, let me know. But, get out of my toolbox, sir. Okay, so then I set up, this was actually my entertainment center that I was using at the apartment, but it's really a bookshelf. So I put a lot of my is this necessary? I put a lot of my collectibles on this, like all my Disney ones, and I'm really happy with it. And some Harry Potter. Can I help you? So the only things left are these two boxes, and they're basically just full of different framed art that I just need to put up. And then I did put up these floating shelves with some Harry Potter like ornaments. And then I've started on my bar area, but it is just full of like a lot of different things that I need to hang right now. So then you like come into the living room. Over here is just some random boxes. This is a Goodwill pile. I did put a Rapunzel picture there, and we did hang some curtains, which is really nice. I feel like they soften this room up. And then in the entryway, I put all of this over here. And then we have, so my whole couch didn't fit, but luckily it's modular, so I could split it. So I put 2 pieces in here, and then my Peloton is over there. And then you just come through here. And I did end up hanging some prints there, putting an ACOSF set up there in the mini editions of Throne of Glass up there, plus these pictures that were in my living room. So that again leads to the master. We're not going to go in there because it's a bit messy. Kitchen is a little bit messy, but ignore my Taco Bell cup. We have the living room as it stands. I finally got a TV. My cousin needs to come and fix it and move it up because it was a little bit low. But I did hang those. But I think the most exciting thing is I got a chair. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. I'm so excited. I think it looks great in here. I love it. It's so soft. I got it secondhand, if you can believe it. It's the most incredibly like beautiful chair, and I'm stoked. Also, I got this print in. It's a Charlie Bowater print, and it's the one that you could get from a pre-order of Kingdom of Ash. So we have Aelin, and I didn't have this one. For whatever reason, I didn't submit a pre-order. I don't know. We were going through a dark time then. So it's obviously going to go on my favorites wall. I just haven't gotten around to putting it up. But yay! So this room's pretty much complete. I just need to get a small little table, which I have in my Amazon cart, to go there. And other than that, this room is actually pretty much done. Okay, I do want to talk through what I'm reading right now. So back in October, I started reading Blood and Honey, which is the sequel to Serpent and Dove, which I really liked Serpent and Dove. I thought it was really well written. I enjoyed like the enemies to lovers trope. I loved the fake marriage trope. Like all of it was great. I thought it was an awesome debut novel. I really enjoyed it. So I was super excited to get Blood and Honey. I ordered the Fairy Loot edition. It took forever to come. But I got it back in October, which I started filming like a dedicated reading vlog to it, which I'm going to scrap because I have not been enjoying it. And I think that there are a lot of like mixed reviews on it. Like I've seen a lot of people who love it, and then I've also heard a lot of like negatives. I personally have not, I mean, it's obviously March and I am only maybe halfway through, and I kind of have to force myself to read it. And it's unfortunate because, again, I really liked the premise, but it seems like we've just gone away from everything that I liked about the first story or the first book. It's just a lot of like whining and fighting, and not like sword fighting, like fighting amongst their group and fighting amongst the couple. And I don't know, like it's just not, it doesn't hold the same, it's just not holding my attention. I don't really look forward to reading it, but at this point I'm making myself read it so I can be done with it and put it on my shelf where it goes and just call it a day. It's really disappointing to me, and I hate it because I really like Shelby Mahurin. Like I love following her on Instagram, and I don't want to like sit here and bash her book, which I'm not going to do. I mean, those are the reasons why I'm just not loving it. Maybe I'll change my mind. Like I said, I'm only about halfway through, but at this point I don't want to DNF it because I want to finish it out because I am curious about how it ends. But I'm not, enjoying it. If anyone else has read it, I'd be really curious to know like what your thoughts are on that. On the second one, did you love it? Were you like me and just not that into it? I mean, maybe it'll get better. I don't know. I hate finding books that I don't like, especially in series that I really started to love. So that's pretty disappointing. But on a better note, I did finish. Da, da, da. I mean, are we shocked? A Court of Silver Flames. So I listened to it on audio, which I wasn't a huge fan of the narrator, but she grew on me by the end. I mean, it was fine. She was just very dramatic, and this is very much adult. And when we got to certain scenes, yeah, it was very dramatic. But the ending, when I tell you that I sat in this chair in here bawling my eyes out for the last like probably hour of this book that I was listening to, like, so probably the last like 5 to 7 chapters, I was boo-hooing. I could not stop the floodgates. It was so good. It was such a great redemption arc for Nesta. If you don't know what the series is, I mean, it's the 4th or the 5th book in the A Court of Thorns and Roses series, which is, it's my top 3 favorite series, which are this series, ACOTAR, Throne of Glass, and From Blood and Ash. So I have a really hard time deciding who's on top, but those are my top 3 overall of all time. And if I had to rate like my rankings of this series, this is a very close second to A Court of Mist and Fury. I just prefer Rhys a bit more as like the hero of the series personally. Cassian's great, don't get me wrong, I love him. But I like Rhys still a bit more. So Mist and Fury, if she would rewrite Mist and Fury and write it more adult like she did this one, man, wouldn't that be great? It would be great. So this is definitely second. Wings and Ruin would be third. Thorns and Roses would be fourth, and Frost and Starlight fifth. I could interchange Thorns and Roses and Frost and Starlight probably. A lot of people don't really care for Frost and Starlight, which is like kind of a novella in between the last book and this one, which this is a standalone. So from here on out, the rest of the books that she writes in this world will be standalones and about like certain side characters that were introduced in the first set of books. Obviously, we've gotten some new characters who I think are pretty integral in the rest of the series, and I can't wait to see how it plays out. But if you have not checked out the series, which I think most people who are on BookTube or are heavy readers have read this series. I think it's very rare to find people nowadays who have not read this series, but I'll tell you what, it is hard to get the original covers now. I was on eBay the other day and it was insane how much they were going for. So I'm really happy that I started reading this series way back when and have several copies of the original hardcovers, because I don't like I'm not a huge fan of here, let me just show you. So, for example, this is the redesigned cover of A Court of Mist and Fury with this raven on it. I'm not going to grab because you're propped up against my actual Mist and Fury. But here's like the example. So we have Farah on all of the covers. And I don't know, I prefer this style of it a bit more. But I think they were trying to go away from the YA. Because really, even these books aren't that YA. So I think they redid the covers so that they could be translated to a more adult area. So anyway, these covers are super hard to get. So if you ever see them at like a thrift store or a secondhand book, snatch them up, because I know I will. Like, they're going unsigned books, and these covers are going for like $150 to $200, which is insane. So most of my copies are signed, I think. I need to look. But I know this particular Wings and Ruin is an Indigo copy, which is a bookstore in Canada, I believe. And so it has like special art on the end papers, or the inside cover. Is that end papers? I don't know. So it's got heart on the inside from Charlie Bowater and Merwild, I believe, are the two different artists that we have. So yeah, if you ever see those, snatch those up stat. But for Silver Flames, I have 4 copies coming. So I already have 2 of them, and I'm waiting for the other 2. So we have the Books a Million copy. Sorry, I'm putting up an art print that I'd taken down that's a little bit racy. And when one of my young cousins was over here, I knew she'd want to like look in this room and didn't really know if she should see this certain art print. So I'd taken it down. But anyway, so I have so there were 2 special editions. I have the signed Barnes & Noble exclusive, which has a bonus chapter for Reese and Farah in the back of it. And it's also signed. So I pre-ordered these way back in the day. And let me just tell you, getting them after I moved, because I pre-ordered them, and trying to change the address was kind of a nightmare, but we made it work. She made it to me after much tracking. But yeah, you can see that this one was signed. And that was the only way. You couldn't get them personalized this year, I don't think, at all. There was nowhere that you could get them. I think there were a couple giveaways that she did where you could have personalized copies. And then there's also the Books a Million copy, which is the same thing. Again, it's signed, and it has a special bonus chapter from Azriel's point of view, which I think this one was the one that was harder to come by. Like, more people wanted Azriel, and I don't think that Books a Million is restocking these. So if you need, I'm sure you can find it online, like the PDFs of the chapters, but if you want them, I have it too. So I'd be happy to send it to you if you want to leave your email or something below. And then I have a tour edition coming that you could get if you signed up to go on her like Zoom tour. And it's like a naked hardcover, very similar to my Crescent City tour edition. And then the last one is the Illumicrate box, which is just plain, completely plain, which is fine. But it had a set of dust jackets in it that I really wanted to get, which it works out that I have 4 of these copies because I can just use them for these dust jackets. So it worked out well. Yeah, but that is what I've been up to lately, what I've been reading. Like I said, I finished the Madison Kate series, which I was kind of reading on the side on my Kindle. And then I finished A Court of Silver Flames, and I'm going to finish Blood and Honey tonight or tomorrow if I don't do it tonight. Like, I'm honestly forcing myself to do it because we just need to move this train. Like, I've been so slow in my reading this year. And I mean, I give myself some slack because I've been moving forever. But it is time. We've got to move along. But before we do, I feel like you guys would probably want to see. So this one company that I love put out, so it's called A Touch of Magic Designs, and it's where I get a lot of my prints. And it's on Etsy, and she did like a mystery pack for A Court of Silver Flames. None of them are spoilery, which was really nice because I don't think there were really any arcs of this book. So there was no way for them to know the content prior to making these prints, but they're still really good. So they're all themed around Cassian and Nesta. So if you're curious, if you want to see them, stick around. If you don't, you can just move on ahead. One of them is, when I say it is NSFW, it is. So maybe just, I'm just gonna put this up here, okay? Look at Cassian. I mean, whoa. So there's the first one. Let's see. Then we have this one of just Nesta herself, and kind of has those silver flames around her. And I really like that. Up next, we have this one. And then we have this guy. This one is sad. This one is actually probably kind of a spoiler from A Court of Wings and Ruin. So spoiler alert if you haven't read that one, but I feel like most of us have. But I'm pretty sure this is that scene in ACOWAR with Nesta and Cassian. Whew. chills, I tell you. But my favorite one is a Dominique Wesson print. I really love her take on Cassian. I don't know if I care for this particular style of Nesta. I think she looks almost too much like Farrah, in my opinion, in this particular print. She's just kind of soft to me. And I think of Nesta as a very angular type of person. Just a very hard and angular girl. But this is such a beautiful art style. I mean, I can't really complain that much, but I adore her style of Cassian. It's definitely one of my favorites. So this print will be going on the favorites wall for sure. And I'll probably have to hide the, Bat Boy Cassian on like behind some books and only pull it out when I know my young cousins aren't over here because whoa. Anyway, okay, I think that's all the updates at this point. This has been a super long sit down chat. But yeah, let's do a bit of reading and try to bust through Blood and Honey.
Give me that. Give me that stick. What do you got? Hey, what do you have? Give me that stick. Give me that stick. Give me that stick.
Good morning, friends. It is Sunday. I don't even know what day in March. And last we spoke was, I think, earlier this week, like maybe Monday. Yeah, because I had the day off. And I kept saying I was going to read some more Blood and Honey. I did not. I did finish one book this week. It was called Crush. And I don't know, I've kind of been on like a weird romancy type kick, but I realized, so this one was by, I think it was maybe Penelope Ward. I'll put it right here, but it was just one of those like kitsy romances where this girl has had a crush on her brother's best friend for as long as she can remember. He's like 7 years older than her. And turns out like when she comes back from college, like the feeling is kind of mutual. But they can't be together because of how her brother would react to it. I don't know. I think I've learned that I prefer my romances to be heavy on the smut, less of the plot. Because this really it wasn't very like hot and heavy, I guess is the best way to put it. It was just kind of plain. And I mean, I gave it a 4 stars because the plot was very good. I actually teared up a couple of times because there's also in the background, there was a very big tragedy in her life that affected both she and the brother's best friend. So it was very sad, and there were a couple of times that I teared up, but there was not a lot of like smut or romance. So I finished it. It was kind of disappointing, but I gave it 4 stars because I mean it did have a good plot. But now I am, as you can see, in my reading room, and I'm going to sit here for the next hour and read Blood and Honey because I swear I have to finish this so I can move on to something else in this room. So anyway, okay, let's do it. Hello guys, this is Lizzie from the Editing Future. I was just working on editing this video and I realized that I never never explained. I thought I did. I could have sworn that I filmed a whole clip about finishing Blood and Honey, but I'm sitting here. I've looked through my phone 28 times. I've been sitting here waiting for my whole spiel to pop up, and I guess either I didn't record it, thought I had recorded it. I don't really know, but I did in fact finish it. But okay, so I gave it, what did I give it? I think I gave it 2 stars. None of my feelings changed from the beginning of the book, which is very unfortunate for me. I know a lot of people loved it, and that's great. I think we all have very different opinions sometimes on books, and I think I had a harder time with the fact that Reed and Lude kept a lot of things from each other. They were really both going through it, and they did not seem to want to confide in the other person, and they just fought a lot. And I think it kind of reminded me in a weird way of the feelings that I had when I was going through my separation and divorce. And maybe that was why I had a really hard time reading this book. I'm not quite sure. I mean, there were some redeeming qualities at the end, although there was a huge turning point at the end with a certain character's death that I did not really expect. Looking back, I could see how that would make sense based on the little threads that were woven, but I hate that it happened. And it made me just like very upset in general about that. And I don't know, I'm definitely going to read God and Monsters, or Gods and Monsters. I really do want to know how this story ends. But it's still, at the end of this book, I feel like we really didn't resolve as many of the issues between the two of them that we could have. And I do hope that they quit keeping things from each other and let each other in. I think that would be great. And that would really make up for it. The second book was not for me personally. And I hate that. It really upsets me that I feel that way. But that's that, and it happens. And I'm glad that I read it. I'm glad that I finished it, because I did have a lot of great things that I bought in preparation for it, like the fairy loot box. I bought a set of book sleeves and art from ACOSF, Quarter Books and Family on Instagram, and a interactive art pack from A Touch of Magic Designs on Etsy, which I loved all of those things. I thought they all turned out great. So yeah, overall, that's how I feel. Okay, so I have to share this like package that I got in the mail because the packaging is the cutest. So this was a Kickstarter that I did with Shop Comic Box, and she created a Appa crossbody bag, and look at this absolutely adorable paper with Momo and Appa on it. And look at this, it's the pin that I picked. And then she also did this really cute print of the whole gang. Super cute. On the back it has like the same thing. Look at the Appa whistle. So cute. So my mom opened this because she thought it was something she had ordered, and she opened it upside down. But look. So, like, I was like, Mom, it says my name on it. Whatever. So, okay, let's open the pin first. I almost hate breaking this packaging. Okay, hang on. Okay, everything is so adorable. Look at this. I love it. Okay. And then we have another Appa, like little baby Appa stickers. Well, I guess Sky Bison, they're not all Appas. And then this was the pin that I picked because I thought, so there was one option of Momo and Appa, and then there were just the little like baby Sky Bison. And I thought that was so unique and different, so I picked that one. So you got to pick a pin if you ordered a bag, I think. Or, I don't know, you probably had to pay for the pin too. Who am I joking? Okay, but now, the bag. I mean, can you even look at this bag? The quality, guys, is so good. I don't know if these are available because it was a Kickstarter, so I don't know if you can still get one. Here's the back. So you can wear it as, like, there's multiple ways you can wear this. So you can do it as like a backpack or a crossbody. This is insane. Let's look at the inside. Okay, I don't know if you can see in there, but it's got like the Appa whistle and Appa, and it has her logo, and it's got a zippered pouch. It's just a really good sized bag, but it came with 3 different buckles, so I'm gonna need to figure out, so maybe 2 of them are backpack and 1 is crossbody, because they seemed different sizes. So I'm gonna assume this is the crossbody one, which would go like up there. This is adorable. I'm so freaking happy. I'm gonna keep this paper. Look at that, so cute. And you're welcome for 11:30 unboxings. Good morning, happy Saturday. It is, God, March. What day is it? I don't even know. I am off work today. I am in line at Starbucks, and I'm doing some grocery shopping this morning to get that done. And I finished, okay, so updates. I read White Hot Kiss by Jennifer L. Armentrout. It's like the first book in the, I don't know, Dark Something series. Basically, it's about gargoyles and demons. It gives me some kind of shadow huntery vibes, but it's certainly not like the same thing. It was very good. I think I gave it 5 stars. It probably was more of a 4-star read, but it was really entertaining. And as we know, Jennifer L. Armentrout is. So I didn't pick up the sequel yet, which I do have, but I did pick up A Touch of Darkness, which is, I think, kind of like Hades and Persephone. It's not a retelling because like they are who they are. But I don't really know. I'm only like 1 chapter in. So I picked that up, and I think it's more new adult, so it should be a little bit steamy there, which is exciting. So that's kind of what I'm reading. I do want to pick up Chain of Iron really soon. I haven't done it yet, but I do have my Illumicrate version. So yeah, we'll do that in a little bit. Okay, bye. Okay, it had been very, very nice weather lately, and for whatever reason today it's back in the like 40s. So it's freezing out here, but Odin is chewing this like nasty ham bone that I got him at work. So I don't really want him chewing that on the rug, so I'm letting him chew it outside in the yard. So I'm sitting out here freezing. Let's see, I just got back home from doing grocery shopping, so I'm waiting on some people to come over and add gutter guard into my gutters so that the leaves stay out of it, and they're gonna cut back some trees out here. So I'm just kind of waiting around for that, and then I think I'm gonna try to work on some of my electronic things here at the house today. Like now that my TV's finally mounted correctly, I need to actually get all of my electronics set up, and they left their surround sound, so I'm gonna try to figure out how it works, but we'll see. It's kind of old. If it doesn't work, I'll just get a sound bar eventually, but you know, that's neither here nor there. I did order a rug last night for the library, which I'm super excited about. I had my eye on it for a while, so I think that comes on Wednesday. Very exciting. I'm trying to think if there's anything else I should update you on, so I'm thinking no. I do need to eat lunch here shortly. I think I'm gonna make these like fried onion smash burgers for dinner, so I'll definitely show you guys how those turn out. Okay, we've had a change of clothes because I got hot. Okay, this whole project I've been working on today has turned into a way bigger mess than I thought it was going to be. They had, like I said, all these old cords and sound systems and everything. It just wasn't compatible. So I just went and got a Bluetooth speaker, or a Bluetooth sound bar, and hooked it up, and I'm much happier with that. It's way easier for me to navigate. It works fine. I just like tested WandaVision on it, which, by the way, if you haven't watched it, incredible. I kind of wish I'd had this last night when I watched The Falcon and the Winter Soldier, but alas, it'll work next week. So yeah, I'm going to try to finish up plugging up my Switch and my PlayStation and all those things. And then the next project would be trying to figure out how to hide the cords. But I might have to like find somebody who can do that professionally, because I just don't know if that's something I can do. So anyway, talk to you guys here in a little bit. Okay, I'm pretty happy with this. So we have our Bluetooth, and there's only 2 cords here going down. So essentially what was there was this piece that they had all the cords behind, and then they drilled down below the fireplace and drilled out into these 2 holes here. But I have no idea how you feed the cords through. So anyway, then they hid those cords behind this like piece of plastic. But the problem that I'm gonna have is I had to do like an extension cord in order for it to reach the power. So I don't know, I kind of need like professional help on that. But this is where they had all of their old stereo systems going. And I just decided to get rid of those, as I said. So now we just have our basket for like storage, which has my different controllers and things in there. I have my PlayStation 4, my Switch, a charger for the PlayStation 4 remote, which will be really nice to have it all right there, a DVD player, and then the power surge, like power protector thing for everything. So it's much cleaner. This is on wheels, so you can like pull it out when you need to get there. So I actually really like it. It's a nice little feature that they left. So this is their old like powered subwoofer, and it is wired, and I'm just gonna leave it because it's all wired into these weird like molding pieces, and frankly I don't care enough to try to figure it out. Same thing with their speakers like right up there and over here, and those are wired as well, and I don't want to rip into my wall because God knows what they've got behind. So, we'll just pretend that those work, and eventually maybe I'll try to get it figured out. But a couple of updates for you guys. I don't know if I have showed you, but I did decide to put a set of my Throne of Glass out here, like the mini editions, and then this amazing print of Aelin and Rowan that I adore. I framed it. It's from A Touch of Magic Designs on Etsy. And then I also have my Juniper Books set of ACOTAR, and then a little like, it's my little mini Aang and the gang. It's acrylic, so it's really cute. It'll probably not stay there, but eventually I think here I'm going to put one of my sets of From Blood and Ash. So I've ordered both the Illumicrate and the Fairy Loot and the Bookish Box sets. Don't judge me, it's fine. So one of those sets will probably go up there, because I feel like I just like putting some of my favorites up there, and I really like that look. And yesterday I got a lamp, so I can finally sit out here and read, which is amazing. So, and then there's my actual subwoofer. This was their big clunky stereo. Look at this thing, it's ancient. And I'm sure it was very expensive, but it's very outdated, and my TV won't even work with it anymore. So it is what it is. Right, buddy? Say hi, friends. Okay, we're gonna make dinner now. Go. Get it. I'm gonna get you. You better run. He was doing bigger zoomies. Also, I worked, it's Sunday, so I worked 4.5 hours today, and then I came home and mowed my yard and weeded it, and I'm really proud of this fact. So I'm going to show you the yard, because let me just tell you, it is not for the faint of heart. Yard work sucks. I might be looking into seeing how much it would cost to have like a lawn service, just mow the yard. I can do the trimming and stuff, but mowing sucks. So let's take a look at my handiwork. Okay, I think I did a pretty dang good job with a blade lawnmower. It's not even a motored lawnmower. And I think it looks pretty dang good. But it was not fun to do. Also, shout out Go State.
And someone had to watch me from the window, so I did not like it.
Okay, here's how my burger turned out. Doesn't it look so delicious? They're very easy to make. Honestly, I mean, doesn't take any time at all. Yay! This is exciting. I feel like I've stepped into another level of YouTube. I finally bit the bullet and got a like taller tripod, because actually what I've been using for all of my videos is just this little like tabletop one, and this guy is just the Mac Daddy. So you can make him whatever size, but also it has a ring light. I haven't plugged it in yet, but that will be so nice, especially when I'm like filming sitting on my couch or anything like that. I won't have to figure out how to rig up my tripod. So yay, exciting. So I am going to sit down and read for a little bit. I am currently reading A Touch of Darkness by Scarlett St. Clair. I mentioned this at some point in this vlog that I just started. I'm on like maybe chapter 2, but it's super interesting because it's like we're in Hercules, but in modern times. But that the gods and the goddesses are a thing. People know, they're almost like celebrities. Like that's the vibe that I get. Like Hades is this celebrity, but also people are kind of wary of them. Like they know that they're gods, essentially. Well, of course, not essentially, but and that making deals with them, which people like to do, can be very dangerous. And we're kind of coming in. Persephone is she is a goddess, but she's hiding with Demeter's help, who is her mother. And she is basically hiding in plain sight. She wears glamour, so apparently she has these horns like a kudu's, which I find so entertaining. But they don't want any of the other gods to know that Persephone exists and that she's like hiding in the mortal world, which it's not like they live on a, like people can go to Olympus like a tourist town almost. But she wants to be a journalist, so she's in college, so it's like a modern world. But her friend has just convinced her to go to one of Hades' clubs. So that's what Hades does in the like human realm, or like these random towns, is he has all these clubs. So obviously we all know what's going to happen. Clearly Persephone is going to make some sort of deal with Hades. I don't know what that is, but you know, it is a love story. So we'll see what happens. I'm excited to get started on, like, to get more into it, because I've always loved Greek mythology. So this has been really entertaining so far. So let's sit back and do some reading. And also, please ignore like the sweatiness, because I just finished, not only did I mow today, but I basically cleaned like half of my house just now. Because don't you want to start the week off fresh, like with a clean house, a clean slate? I know I have been really liking that about having my house so far. At the apartment, I didn't really like, it's not that I didn't care, but it was so small, it was very easy to do in a short amount of time. But having a house, like there is a lot of stuff that you have to do, and not having carpet anymore, I feel like I see the constant dirt or Odin's hair or his crumbs that he leaves from playing with his like treat balls, and it drives me nuts. So I really have a hard time letting it go, and I find myself doing a whole lot more cleaning than I probably did in the past. But hey, at least my house is very clean. So just ignore the sweaty-ish look today. But I'm gonna pop and relax. Like, I haven't sat down since the day started today. So I'm gonna take a couple minutes and read some of this book. Oh, one more thought. So the when she's going into the club, like Hades Club, there is certain restricted areas, I guess. And I'm cracking up because the like the bouncer, the club bouncer, is a Gorgon, which I don't know why it doesn't remind me of Percy Jackson. I mean, it kind of does. Like, I think of like the movie version of Percy Jackson, because I haven't read the books. I hate to say, this was kind of, Percy Jackson came out like after my time. So anyway, to me, the Gorgons remind me of, has anyone else played God of War? Because that's all I think about is the video game God of War and the Gorgons that you have to beat on certain levels. Anyway, neither here nor there. I just find it funny. Okay, I'm sorry, I keep interrupting my own reading, but she just met Hades, and he has a man bun, and I actually am living for this description of this like tall, dark, and handsome guy with a man bun, because I just finished reading A Court of Silver Flame, so I always think of Cassian with his long hair, and I'm sure Cassian would probably wear a man bun, but I could get down with some man buns. I'm cool with that. So that's a pretty fun like description of Hades, I gotta say. Hey guys, it's Monday. It's a gorgeous day out. I have been working this morning, and I was going to settle in for a little bit of a break to read A Touch of Darkness. I am like 60-ish pages into it so far, and I'm actually getting more into it. I think it's been really good. Basically at this point, we just found out that she kind of has made like a deal with the devil, if you will, on accident. Like, she didn't know it was happening, but he's pretty tricky in the way that he is in Hades, makes his bargains and his deals and how he enters in with like people on them. So, I mean, he's a sneaky little dude. So anyway, she's just found out that basically their deal is that she must bring life to the underworld. I can already kind of predict what that means. Let me know if you feel the same way. But basically, the crux of the issue is it would be easy because she's the goddess of spring, but for some reason she has no access to her powers. Her magic is not good. It basically makes things die. So she doesn't know why. Demeter doesn't know why. Demeter has just been letting her use her own powers. So that's kind of where I'm at this point. Yeah, been pretty good so far. I'm still learning how to use this tripod, but okay, I should tell you I got a couple of books in the mail. So the first one is the tour edition of A Court of Silver Flames, and to be honest with you, it's a bit on the plain side. Okay, for comparison though, so I have the tour edition of Crescent City, and this is the tour edition of Crescent City, and I like that it says Tour Edition 2020, and then it has a quote on the back. So it's just, it has like the symbolism, which I think is like the crown and the harp and all that jazz. But it doesn't say like Tour Edition. It doesn't have a quote like that. And I mean, it doesn't have to have a quote, but I just feel like it's very, very, very plain. It's not signed. I didn't expect for it to be signed. But to be honest with you, like, it's pretty plain. It's not my favorite. I mean, I compare these two, and I think it's very clear which one's the prettier book. Just, you know, personal preference, I guess. But, okay, so there's that. And then I also got in my Illumicrate chain of iron, which super excited about that. It has these gorgeous yellow sprayed edges, which I kind of wish they were more of this gold color because I don't really feel like the yellow quite matches the cover. But this is the cover of it. This is this, let's see, can you read it that better that way? Secrets consume even the truest love is what it says on the spine. It did come with this beautiful art print of Cordelia. And it is stamp signed. So it's not actually signed, it's just a stamp, which is fine. But I have the Illumicrate, like the chain of gold. I can't reach it, it's way high. So I'm excited to read that up next. So, okay, now we're gonna sit in here in my library and read A Touch of Darkness. Of Silver Flames box just came in, and look at this stunning cover. I mean, I am in complete awe. There's the spine, and look at that. That is just really stunning. It also came with this pin set that was from an old box that they did for, I think just the series overall. So I was happy to get my hands on that. And it came with just the standard edition and then all of these dust jackets. So here are the rest of the series. I've just not put them on yet. So we have a Court of Frost and Starlight with Feyre, Nesta, and Elaine. Well, no, that's Feyre and that's Elaine, sorry. And then, oops. Then we have ACOTAR with, oh, Tamlin and Lucian. That's really cool. Feyre looking at the stars. The night sky. Then we have A Court of Mist and Fury with My Loves. Still loving the... Oh, she's in her night court attire. That's a really cool detail. I hadn't seen that. And then there's the mountains. And the stars. I was going to say the 3 stars, but there's more. And then finally, A Court of Wings and Ruin. Oh, I love that they have them on the back. And then we have the inner circle on the front. Really stunning. Oh, and then the cauldron. So here's the thing. I don't have enough books for all these dust jackets. What I may have to do is change out my Juniper books ones for these and like just randomly decide. Because I had thought about using all of my editions of A Court of Silver Flames, but these are built for the actual editions, so I can't do that. Okay. I think I figured out what I'm going to do. I need to get the rest of, so I only have Mist and Fury in this particular edition. So I need to invest in the rest of them. That way I don't have to, because I think they're slightly smaller, like slightly. So I think these will actually fit better on this edition than the like original ones. And I love the original covers, so I don't want to get rid, like I don't want to change that. I like to keep the standard set on my shelf. And I really like the Juniper book set, which is, in case you've forgotten, this one up here. And I love that one. So I think what we're going to do is just invest in the rest of these over time. And that way I can put on these dust jackets. So I'll just go ahead and put on Mist and Fury now. Yeah, that's what we're gonna do. Here it is on. Now it is slightly short, like in all honesty, because the regular edition of Court of Mist and Fury is slightly even taller. So like really, these are slightly too small. I mean, I don't know if it would bother anyone. I can't decide if it really bothers me enough. I'll be curious to see if anyone makes a statement about it, but they are slightly short. Like, and by like, not much. But, I mean, it's absolutely incredible. Really a gorgeous dust jacket. So, regardless, I am happy to have it in my collection. So, 2 of them are on there, and I just will need to get the other books in the other editions. And then, and also I wonder if the UK, well, no, because this one came from the UK. I don't know. Weird. Whatever. It's fine. It's beautiful. Super happy with that. Really pretty. Okay, bye. Hello, friends. Kind of want to round out this vlog because, so I finished A Touch of Darkness, and I did not know, I thought this was a standalone. I'm an idiot. It's like 4 books plus 4 in Hades' perspective, so technically like 8 books. It's not finished. One comes out, the 3rd one comes out in May, the 4th one comes out in 2022, and then she's like incrementally releasing the Hades perspectives, which I ended up giving A Touch of Darkness 5 stars. I really enjoyed it. If you like fantasy romance, if you're needing something, okay, don't get me wrong, this is no A Court of Silver Flames, but if you are looking for a fantasy romance that is smutty, this series will not disappoint you. If you also like Greek mythology, it is a great choice. I really enjoyed reading about like the gods and goddesses because I remember growing up I was obsessed with them. So, and it has a really interesting storyline, being that it's kind of set in like a more modern time area, but also still harks back to a lot of like the time frame, like the mythical, I don't know, what am I trying to say? It like gives a lot of like flashbacks in a sense, like to what time was like back when Greek gods and goddesses would have been around. I don't know, I really enjoyed it. I thought it was good. I've already started, so I think how I'm personally going to read it is now I'm going to read the first Hades book, which it's basically the Touch of Darkness in his perspective. I mean, I'm a sucker for stuff like this. It reminds me a lot of like 50 Shades of Grey, in terms of where she released Grey in tandem, not in tandem, but she released those like that. So I love reading from the dude's point of view. It just hits different. So I started that last night and I read like 45 pages of Hades' book. And luckily they're all on Kindle Unlimited. So if you have Kindle Unlimited, you are in luck because they're all there. And then on top of that, I also started Tools of Engagement because I saw this book on Chandler Ansley's booktube like review. She read it for like a Target, things like books Target made me buy basically, and she loved it. And so far she compared it to The Hating Game, which actually Sally Thorne, who I believe is the author of that, blurbed the Tools of Engagement on the front. So if you liked The Hating Game, you would definitely like Tools of Engagement. I started this last night and I read 160 some pages of it, so it's really good. It's basically about I think it's technically the 3rd in her like little series about this group of girls, but you don't have to read those to know what's like, they don't have to be read in order to know what's going on. But it's basically about Bethany, who is she's a perfectionist, and she wants everyone to think that she has it together when she... Odin, get out of the bushes. Sorry. She wants everyone to think, hey, Stop. For the third time, she wants everyone to think that she has it all together, when in reality she feels like she's a mess inside, and that she is almost OCD about her perfectionism. And it's very interesting to be in her head and like hear all of her overthinking thoughts. So if you like relate to that sort of mindset, you would probably find this book really interesting. Because I know I tend to overthink things, so it was very interesting to hear her thoughts and like hear her talking to the guy in this book whose name is Wes. Boy, get out from under that. Stop. I'm trying to climb under the house. Get up here. Come here. Sit down. So anyway, she is 30, I think, and the love interest is 23. So she keeps like turning him down because she just thinks that the age gap is too big. He's not, like, he's only there to take care of his niece, whose mom kind of just said she needed a break and left, like straight up left this little girl in his care, and he's never taken care of kids before. But he's like doing such a good job. It's really sweet and endearing, and I kind of love him. So he is obsessed with Bethany, thinks she is absolutely gorgeous, and really wants them to like hook up, but he's not interested in anything long-term, where she's interested in the long-term. So, but the plot behind the whole book is that they work on houses, they flip houses, and Bethany wants to try to go out on her own and actually flip her own house for the first time, and like kind of leave the family business, which nobody is on board with. So they're entering into like a competition to see who can flip the house best. So yeah, there's a lot of like tension. So Wes basically jumped ship from the family business with her, even though he's not related at all. He was like the foreman on the team for the brother who is the actual house flipper. And he decides to go with Bethany because, like, of course, why not? So it's been really, really interesting. So I'll pick up the next vlog, like, talking about that book and let you know how my thoughts are. But I just want to go ahead and end this one because it's been kind of long, and, you know, we'll just pick up where we left off. So thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in my next one.